Hello YouTube, welcome to the Game Link Weekly. Anything I'm trying to start to do. Without further ado, I'll crack on. So just put some background music on. Not very loud, is it? Right, basically this is something I wanted to do every week. Just I'm watching people like I watch Bluetonic every week. Really like his show. I don't know if this sounds quite weird, but I watch him in the bath every Wednesday morning. I don't watch him in the bath. I'm in the bath while I'm watching the laptop. Let's get that straight. Yeah, so I thought, well, I'll try and do something similar to him because it's a good format he has there. I really enjoy watching something that has not a layout, but that has a point. So yeah. So I have a few points that I've written down that I was going to talk about today, and the first one is a very controversial one, which I'm sure no one will probably agree with me with, but I think that personally gaming started to die a little in the last gen. Although sales would say that that's completely false and that it actually grew in the last gen. For me, just playing games from that, the games started to lose the imagination that they had before. So you say it was the birth of the Call of Duty series, which although I played a lot of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 online, not a lot like other people, you know, but I did play it, so I can't say I hate it or anything, but I just feel like gaming, when people started to like games like that and play them all the time, it started to take the imagination out of gaming. You know, Activision know that if they publish the same game every year now, developed by whoever, even though Treyarch don't develop, you know, it's a fact that Infinity will make the better games. Whatever they publish, people are going out and buy in the millions, and it doesn't matter if it's any different to the last game. People will still buy it, whether they'll be happy with their purchase or not is another matter. But people will go out at midnight on release night, buy it before they've heard anything about it, really. So yeah, I just felt that with the PS1, you still got a lot of kooky titles there. You know, things like Speed Freaks, you know, Crash Bandicoot. A lot of platformers were still around, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, things like that. So you know, the imagination was still there, but I just feel at the PS2 era they did carry on the Crash Bandicoot and the Spyro, but I just felt like people were more interested in buying games without imagination, and they tend to be the ones that sold the best. Another thing that is going to be controversial, just like saying I don't like Call of Duty very much, I don't like Grand Theft Auto very much. I think, you know, I've got 3 children at home, and I'm happy that my kids love things like Mario and Mega Man, and although, you know, sometimes I have to prise them off the console, which is not a good thing at 5 or 6 years old, I'd rather have to prise them away from something that's innocent like Mario than something that's Grand Theft Auto. I'm not saying Grand Theft Auto should be banned or anything, far from it. People should be able to play whatever they want, and if people want to play Grand Theft Auto, then no one should ban it. I mean, that's something that frustrates me, is that films can have anything in them and not even consider getting banned if there was a film of it.
Alright, well, fucking hell, maybe jumping. Doing alright, should we sit right there?
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm doing a video for YouTube, but I can pause it.
Video for YouTube?
Yeah, we've got your YouTube channel. Right, 1 minute. So as I was saying, I just had a customer, sorry about that. As I was saying, yeah, there's nothing wrong with Grand Theft Auto. I just feel like games are going too much towards violence, and again, I sound like I'm being a bit of a sissy, but it's not that I disagree that violence should be in games. It's just not my kind of thing, you know. Well, unless you count a hedgehog jumping on a spider or whatever, violence, you know, or Mario can be quite cruel, you know, and then Mario Galaxy, you see him going around trying to pull hit a dinosaur on the bum or whatever while it's still in the egg. I don't know. Yeah, but I lost my train of thought there with the customer and stuff. But basically, what I'm saying is, maybe it's not last gen hasn't killed it, but I think it's been bad for the true gamer who's been a gamer for his life, you know. Well, for me, should we say, you know, a lot of people who are retro gamers have gone into the next gen and they love these games just as much. I'm not one of them. I played a lot on the Xbox 360 for a few years. Played a lot of online. When I first found online, I was totally addicted to online. I played online every night, sometimes till 2 or 3 in the morning. Never really Call of Duty like other people were. I was more sort of Gears of War fan, because that's maybe something a little bit different, you know. There's so many first-person shooters out there, and Call of Duty does it the best, but still, storyline mode, I think if there was no offline mode in Call of Duty, I just don't think they would sell. So, you know, I don't think a game should be reliant on its online mode as much, because, you know, obviously people who aren't online are going to buy that game because of the hype and think, well, this should just last me 4 or 5 hours, I've completed it, and it hasn't really given that much enjoyment. But let me know what you think. You know, if you don't play online, do you really rush out to buy the Call of Duty games? Right, that's the first point. Second point, following on from it, really, I sound like a right old fart, I do. But yeah, don't you think that gaming music is just dead now? You know, I'm playing some retro game music in the background here. It's from Wonderboy 3: The Dragon's Trap. A bit of 8-bit music, and I just think that this sort of music, you never go around humming a tune from a game anymore. You know, on the Xbox, I can't even think of any pieces of music from any modern games. Looking at my Xbox titles that I've got in the shop. Oh, the only thing I can even think of with music in it that's of any relevance. Well, I suppose Halo's got a score, but it's not something that you really go around humming. But obviously, the music game's Guitar Hero, but it's not got its own music, has it? You know, Wonderboy 3: Dragon's Trap's actually my favourite game of all time, and the soundtrack is just so great. So yeah, it might be boring for you, but I'll just play you a couple of songs. There's one playing right now on here. I'll just turn it up. This one's called The Last Dungeon, but I'm going to have to show you my favourite one, which is called Sidecrawler Dance. And it used to be my favourite piece of music when I was little playing the game, and every time I hear it, it's one of those songs that sort of makes me shiver, with sort of tingle with the excitement that I had when I was 4 or 5 years old first playing this game. Whoop, shiver. You get the impression of that one. Now just one more I want to show, which I'm sure you've all heard, and it is from Sonic Hedgehog 2 on the Sega. I sound like a bit of a Sega fanboy here, but this is what I had as a child. It's the music that brings back the memories for me. You know, I'd be interested to hear what everyone else thinks. What song, when you hear it on a game, it really just brings the memories flooding back. I'm just tingling all over, you know, that sort of. So yeah, you know, know, I could literally go through hundreds. I'm going to put some music on in the background again. I could literally go through hundreds of songs I can remember as a child from various games that I've played. And when you play the game, when you haven't played it in a while, you always come back to it and you play it, you put it on, and immediately you're humming the song or singing along to the song. I used to be a bit sad when I was little, because when I played Sonic 1, I remember it was always Sonic 1 mainly. I would make up words to the little tunes and I'd sing along, and even now when I put it on, I just start to have a little sing. I don't know if anyone else did that, but probably not. I'm guessing probably not, but yeah. So I mean, if anyone has got an alternate argument that gaming music is better now, and that they think of lots of songs they can sing in their head when they're playing games, or what, you know, let me know, because obviously it's only an opinion. It's all an opinion, and I'd love to hear some music that people think is maybe better than the old stuff. But to me, there is none. You know, it brings back the memories flooding back, and I don't believe that anyone, even at a young age, if they tried a new game, an old game now, and played that music wouldn't have more of an effect on them than say anything in the new era. So that was my second point. Yeah, which sort of linked on from the first. Right, the next one is about the bane of all retro collectors' lives, and they are sports games. Now, you know, if you're at a car boot sale searching for that Billy bargain, then you're always looking out for the good games, and you always find the sports games. Yeah, how many times have you been at a car boot sale, found a Mega Drive, looked in the box below, and it's all sports games? The hopes that you were going to get the absolute mint bargain. The Mega Man, the Wily Wars down there with the Punisher and Death and Return of Superman all in one box, and you're thinking, this could be the box, this could be the box. You find FIFA International Soccer, PGA Tour Golf, Ayrton Senna, and you got it. I don't think anyone sees that box and thinks, wow, that's just what I've been looking for. So, but contrary to that, there are some great sports games out there. I'm getting distracted by the song because it's just... yeah, there are some good sports games out there. I mean, I'm a big player of FIFA games. Don't get me wrong. In my shop, I love playing FIFA with the other customers. It's one of the best games for two people to get on one console and play, as long as you like football, clearly. But also, I love hockey games. Not so keen on the modern basketball games. I just think that they're a bit end to end. You know, you go at one end score, got the other end and score. But what the question I wanted to pose to everyone really was, what is your favourite sports game of all time? Because even surely people who don't really like sports must have one sports game that they've played in their life that appeals to them. I remember on the Amiga there was a good game that surely anyone, even if you didn't like football, could play, and it was called Wild Cup Soccer. And their version of a header was not to head the ball, but when your head actually fell off. So, you know, that had a bit of humour to it. There was Red Card on the PlayStation 2 and GameCube, which was always a funny game to play, because basically there was quite a few buttons for kicking someone's ass. And yeah, I enjoyed that. I mean, I enjoy FIFA, I enjoy all sports games. I'm just trying to think, really, I should have thought of this before I come on camera, of what my favourite sports game is, but I'd have to say it was Sensible Soccer. And the particular version I prefer was Sensible World of Soccer on the PC. It had a few cutscenes with your chairman who were going, "Welcome to our club," when you started the career. Sorry for the rubbishy Sheffield accent, but that's what he had. And it was funny because you'd join Inter Milan as a manager and he'd go, "Welcome to our club," and you think, yeah, you're not very Italian, are you? But yeah, I don't know if everyone's played, for me, surely everyone's played some version of Sensible Soccer at some point, and it's just so simple in the concept. One button, you can do it with one button, tap it to pass, hold it to shoot, and curl it in the air with the directions. But I just don't think there's been a more flowing football game since. I mean, it's nothing like real football, is it? Let's be honest, it's nothing like real football, but maybe that's what we like, you know. We wouldn't like Grand Theft Auto to be exactly like real life, where if you went over the 30 mile an hour in a built-up area, the police pulled you over, give you a ticket, and if you got shot, you're in hospital for weeks and weeks, and someone bought you grapes. It's not what we want, is it? So yeah, I think for me, Sensible Soccer would, Sensible World of Soccer, particularly on the PC, and which leads me again to another bit of music, which I wasn't going to show you, but I'm going to put it on now because that last bit of music's ended, and it was the theme tune to Sensible World of Soccer. I don't know if anyone remembers it. It was called Goal Scoring Superstar Hero, I think it was. Well, that's what it was. Sensible Soccer. This one, isn't it? No, that's Sensible Soccer. Not Sensible World of Soccer. Yeah, this must be it. That was it. That was in the background. So yeah, that was my favourite sports game. So in the comments, comment and let me know what your favourite sports game is. I'm sure everyone must like one sports game. Like, anyone who didn't like golf, the old golf games were still fun. Anyone who didn't like hockey, the old hockey games were still fun. I think the hockey games are still fun, but I remember really liking Blades of Steel on the Master System, which most people have probably never even played. Is it called Blades of Steel? No, Slapshot. Blades of Steel was on the NES. Yeah, Slapshot on the Master System was a real fun game, and I remember at the time it was quite funny that you could have a fight in a hockey game, but I think that's in practically every game now. So yeah, so that's my third point, sports game point. And now I'll just stop the camera while I go and collect my top 5 items this week in the shop.